guess Twitch crashed. Wow. I didn't even know I was disconnected. That's funny and painful all at the same time. But I guess I'll go through it again. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Mortanius, and we are once again back again on top of again with another episode of Vampyr on the PS5. Time of re-recording is 12:19 a.m. December 31st, 2024. Started the stream at 12:08, but for some reason Twitch decided to crash, and here we are again. Jesus. When we last left off, we had finally managed to knock out at least a couple of things, both here in the form of conversations and investigations, as well as a few more things slightly beyond the hospital, still connected to the hospital, of course, but beyond it. And now we're just in the process of dealing with this mysterious benefactor that seems to be feeding the Pembrooke's pockets every step of the way. So we'll have to see what her problems are, one Lady Ashbury. Once we do that, we should be, I guess, rolling in the dough. So if you folks like what you see and want to see more of me, give me a like, follow, subscribe here on YouTube both. Drop a comment, check out some of the other playlists. Follow the links to my Twitch to get to my YouTube. Follow the links to my YouTube to get to my Twitch. And wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and get comfortable. Let's do this. It's too bad I can't actively watch. Because I mean, I could leave the window open to keep an eye on my stream. I'd rather not do that though. It's a shame I can't actually like constantly be aware if my stream is up just by looking at my active screen. But it is what it is. If you folks have DLC content, it'll actually be in this locker right here. So now there was two notes that I had come across, both of which I had read. One was from last episode, a little long. I'll save it for a little while later though. They were actually both kind of long, but I'll save those. Didn't really mean to start all the reading at the beginning. This crash is kind of fortuitous, but at the same time it means I effectively need to read again. So yeah. The things I do for the people don't really bother me too much. It is what it is. Okay. So we have ribs, steak. I was going to say shrimp tartare, but it is what it is. Eggs. And no, that's not a woman joke. And a greasy burger with onions attached. Fried onions. Oh. And there's that drink on the side that kills you when you drink too much of it.
Miss, please, I feel sick. Get over here now.
And yes, you did see him. We'll deal with that. Oh, Lord. Crumpled letter. I'm tired of your shit, Clay. What the fuck did you do? All the bloody docs are gossiping about how my husband has just got that stupid kid. How many times did I tell you to count to 20 before drawing your blade? How can we expect to do proper business and have people obey if you keep on killing everyone who dares cross you? Now, rumor says some blokes from the dead's family are looking for you, and one that even swore to kill you. Don't come home tonight. I've seen strange men patrolling the streets. They may be some common militia or something like that sent to arrest you. Go to a safe place for a few days. Maybe go to the hospital or Whitechapel. Make yourself useful for once by checking if any business could be settled over there. When the situation is calmer, I'll send a wet boot boy so that you can come back, Edwina. Now, that's what was interesting to me. Clay is married to Edwina Cox, but there's no connection. All right. Wonder whose choice that is. I can't say about stats in this day and age, rather. There's always the possibility for stats to be incorrect or inaccurate or intentionally fluffed in one direction or the other. But even with that being the case, it would still more than likely maintain as well as win. Yeah, there you are.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Two things. One, the camera work, when it comes to this, has nothing to do with it. There's quite a few instances where the camera will just do what it does. Basically, as you just saw, it's based on the importance of the situation. Two, she has got some eyes, boy. I don't know you like that. I'm glad to see you. I don't know you like that. No offense. You saved my life, but did you save my life for me, or did you save my life for you? Or for others? It's hard to say. Keep it peaceful.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained.
That was a weird way for... I always forget, but I always found it to be so weird how she says questions like that. She says that like that was what she... Like her line was rehearsed first. Then his was rehearsed. Like it was supposed to happen, like her line, then his line, and then they chose to switch it last minute. It is weird to me.
My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
have no reason not to believe that. And then they seem to trust you, at least so far. And moreover, the staff, I don't know if they actually know you're here or not. They know about you. Well, he knows you're the benefactor. I don't know if they know you're here. But, I mean, you don't seem to be hiding right now. Vampire, obviously, but I'm hiding as a vampire, so it don't really matter.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Interesting way of putting it. Necessary evil. Alright.
Pardon my boldness, your ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Interesting. I mean, you could at least given me a breadcrumb, but at least you don't want the individual dead. Once again, though, does that speak volumes about your character, or are you shrewd and being strategic right now? Or both?
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Not gonna lie, it's hard not to get into the music of this game.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Well, a voice never lies, and yours clearly is the voice of a gentleman.
In my head every night.
Yeah, well, I see faces looking down at me.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
I mean, it wouldn't be a vampire. I don't know about any of that. Who would dare? I mean, like, really, dude? Jesus. That much respect for her position already, huh? Alright, bro. No idea as to why, but you make your choices. I can see somebody who wouldn't know she's a vampire challenging her quite easily, which is another reason why I'm kind of surprised at such a statement of yours.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Yes, violence does. It has its uses, but yes, it does.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Interesting. So, they're either having something happen to them out of nowhere, or somebody is draining their blood whether a vampire or somebody who's doing something else with it. And the only other ones it could be is staff members or patients. And the only other patient that has a reason to go for blood is focused on one very particular individual. So it's odds are she ain't gonna branch out unless he's gone. So it either is you or it's somebody else. But either way, the situation is the same.
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
Okay. What? You being a lady means you're exempt from the question? Reality don't work that way. No offense. I'm only asking. I'm literally just looking everywhere I can. You may not do anything, but I'm looking everywhere. Just because you need me to investigate does not mean that you aren't a part of the investigation, and nor does it mean that you are innocent.
Excuse my impertinence, your ladyship. This is not an interrogation. I assure you that this line of questioning is in your best interest.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
You know, I was debating whether or not to rest, because I actually should. Ending last episode, I didn't rest intentionally. I sat down at the bed, but I think sitting down gives you an auto-save, so I'm not sure. But I intentionally didn't rest. But I'm debating whether or not to rest. That being said, I don't really need Clay getting worse, and Mortimer's recovering. You know what? No, we're good.
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reed. Still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
I actually agree with that statement, Mr. Cox. Look at that. A broken clock and all that.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
Well, I mean, yeah. Shouldn't really be too surprised. You said surrender, and he was like, nah. And you were like, for real? And he was like, come here. And you were like, nah. And he was like, all right. And you were like, okay. And I was like, he's gonna stab you. And then you were like, okay, I'm gonna stab you. And then you were like, I'm gonna kick you into the water. And there it is. It's as simple as that. I mean, yeah. You're gonna be remembering him for an extremely long time.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favor.
Did he think it would be easy, or did he think he had motivation? There was a man who tried to kill him. Shocker. It's almost as if gangs do gang shit and end up causing collateral problems.
Only the strongest survive, then? Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
You don't need to. You only need to care as to whether I do something about what I think of you.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
Like I said.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. But as long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
Well, I mean, this is a shitty plague, so you shouldn't be surprised with shitty services. They're doing the best they can with what they've got.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
I can see that. I can see that.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
I always hated that way of thinking. Just because it's a part of the job does not mean that you don't respect the individuals doing it. Just because it's a soldier's duty to die for you, to defend you, to guard your borders does not mean you don't respect those individuals. It makes no sense. It's like if you're going out for fast food. You respect the people who are serving your food, otherwise you might come away with a couple of extra flavors you didn't want. It doesn't mean I agree with it, but it ain't gonna change the reality of what happens.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in the hospital?
Blackmail? That's not my style. Too risky. A black market, though. Now that's where the money is.
Yeah, you don't really seem the subtle type, and blackmail is quite often about subtlety.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
See, when I hear something like that, I know the city. That means you know the hiding spots. Now, from my perspective, that tells me you could go missing and nobody could ever find you. But hey.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more than I could say for most folks.
And who are you, then?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day, I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
I mean, I'll grant that you move from a position of being your truest self. It doesn't mean your truest self is something people should have to deal with. And then you say you will punch in the face of all those who says you wouldn't come back, so you're gonna let these people live rent-free in your head and then come back. And but even though we just talked about how revenge seems to be a real powerful motivator. All right, that guy. Clay intends to remain a gang leader after his recovery. Yep.
Am I right to assume your wife's letter pissed you off, Clay?
I was so mad, I threw away the knife she got me when we got married.
Your wife gave you a knife as a wedding present.
That knife has always been my lucky charm. If I'd had it in my hand when I got stabbed on that pier, I'd not have been wounded.
Interesting. Clay considers the knife his wife gave him as his lucky charm, meaning he considers his wife to be his lucky charm.
A lucky charm. I never would have taken you as the superstitious type.
We all have our flaws, Doc. Mine's to have my weapon of choice for when the really dirty business comes around.
We all have that thing, man. We all, when the walls come down, we all want at least that one thing. Some of us might not have found it yet, but we all want that one thing.
Do you want it back?
I don't need it here, but if you'd be kind enough to bring it to me, I'd be really grateful.
A grateful Clay Cox? I might just find your knife and bring it back to you to see that happen.
I can give you directions, but I'll be surprised if you manage to find it. My hideout isn't meant to be found easily.
Another place for people to disappear to.
What can you tell me about your marriage, Clay?
Marriage is the sweetest cage, they say. Well, I found myself locked in one with a wild animal.
You mean your wife keeps you on your toes?
No, I mean, we both have claws and we both love to bite.
Yeah, no. I can't do that.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Me personally, I can't do that. I can respect the fact that some do, but if you need to be with somebody who you argue with constantly, I don't know what the hell's going on there.
We've dodged death so many times.
Slow down. I'll talk to you when I get there.
Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir.
What was that?
Newton Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend.
Yeah, and musophobia is rough. Newton's phobia of rats prevented him from rescuing his missing friend. World War I, people would get trapped with rats, and rats would just eat through you. And a rat is capable of, a rat is capable of chewing through solid steel if it has the choice to. So, needless to say, flesh and bone, you ain't really gonna stick around. And it's possible if, for a group of rats to strip a grown man to the bone in less than a minute, if not a minute plus.
What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served in the same regiment, sir. We've taken care of each other since we came back from the front.
I can respect that. Look out for your brother. Look out for your companion.
This is a dangerous part of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital. We both need help. Treatment, I mean. To get some sleep. Just need to feel better, sir.
Pembroke Hospital's upstairs to your left.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together. Oswald is nervous and quite fragile since we came back from the war.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose. So I couldn't go after him.
You know, something
I have all the information I need for now. If I find anything out about your friend, I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
There's something I think I missed. Because he says he says he was in the chase with each other when they came back. And then he says they came for the Pembroke, but they didn't get that far. I think when I first heard it back in the day, I had heard that they didn't even get this far. But I think what he's saying is that they actually got here, and once he got here, he got cold feet. Oh, I thought that was Rakesh. I'm like, what? Where? Ah. Now, folks. I keep seeing a glint. Now, folks, we get to talk to an individual we haven't been able to talk to at all since we got here. So then, I keep seeing the shiny.
It's locked.
Oh, extremely useful.
Disgust on every street corner.
Now we can go in
these
here.
nurses, bred with no respect.
Alright, folks. Prepare yourself for new levels of crotchety you didn't know could exist.
What? What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
No, ma'am. No intern here. Professional.
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
That, I believe, relates to Dr. Tippett's and Nurse Brannigan's problems down in the morgue. Oh, and as you folks saw, y'all got to hear that that gaslighting immediately. Threatening an old woman, are you? All right.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
I can respect your statement, but you didn't really answer my question, dear. You just decided to dance around it, okay.
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little bitches' greedy little eyes. Just waiting for me to pop off, they are.
Well, I don't know about them, and I'm not necessarily blaming you, but what I'm saying is that, well, who would expect the old woman,
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Yes, it is.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
See? The old gossip is always useful when she's in the mood. Otherwise, keep it moving, and then surely decontamination will save what's left of your mind. Royal Garden Hall Theater. Clyde Finch presents Doris Fletcher. Sappho. Yeah, I think she'll be alright. Nurse Hawkins. Now
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
Now, the reason why I made it a point to come back in here after talking to dude and his friend. What? It's because what I'm doing now is gonna connect to that. Oh Lord. Come back to it. Come back to it. Come back to it. Not trying to drown y'all like that. This game has a lot of lore, a lot of reading, a lot of listening. I'm gonna have to find a way to split this stuff up in such a way where we can actually read the stuff, learn it, compartmentalize it for the game, and have it be like, oh, right, that's them doing that. And the reason why they can do that is these reasons. But at the same time, I'm not trying to overload y'all with codexes. Oh, okay, it's just Pippa, Dorothy, and Gwyneth. I feel your pain, my good man.
It's here again.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Pipe up.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
Well, damn. Just hoping you ain't a Christian.
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
Interesting.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
What?
Good evening, Dr. Tippett. Have you heard of any underhand dealings?
I have no time for such triviality, my dear colleague. We're here to save lives.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
It don't surprise me he wouldn't be aware. He's pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? One-track minded. He's very focused on what he does, so it doesn't surprise me.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
His damn camera angle sometime, boy.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
So, yes.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Interesting. Yoink. I'll take my supplies. Reinforcing my statement earlier. Hey. We have eavesdrop. Alright, this is where the game teaches you to eavesdrop for the first time. I remember when E3 first came out with this game's gameplay trailer. What you're about to see was the initial one that they used to actually give you a eavesdrop. L3 to activate your senses. If a citizen is behaving suspiciously, their heart and will emit a distinctive glow. By looking at the citizen, you'll unlock a special interaction. Look for Dorothy Crane. If you cut this off, it won't show, so you'll have to reactivate.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals, or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
You know, to this day, it is still so interesting to me. A lot of people are confused about the fact that in the ancient days, you could still, no, you couldn't. But in like the ancient days period, a lot of people were confused that most people couldn't read, and I'm like, reading is a luxury. You had to have the ability to put time into reading, to sit down, to not have to do anything. That's a scowl. We'll deal with him. Your mama. Khalid, how dare you? Is that his real name? Nope. Or maybe, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe. I just had to give him one. Now, in terms of what they want us to follow that guard. And we will. I hate that. So, what you're hearing is this sort of glitch kind of thing. But whenever you move over characters and you have this vision going, you'll hear that. But it's almost like the game does it intentionally as a warning to let you know there's somebody nearby and your senses are like peripherally picking them up. It's weird. But yeah, reading was a luxury. To be able to read, you had to have time to put into reading, or somebody who was willing to spend time teaching you to read. The world was very specialized in the ancient days. You worked or you were ass out. Men, women, we have both always worked side by side in different ways. Somebody just got that shit pushed in. Well. That looks, I hear death out there. On the one hand, that looks unpleasant.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
On the other hand, juice. Got the shortcut for this. He's got a pain in his chest and he can't breathe. Nah, that ain't you. That's the sound that I was talking about. It ain't you two. Y'all ain't got power like that. I've killed power far greater than that. Yes, as you see, they are 3 levels higher than me. It shall not matter. If you want that smoke with me, you officially signed up to die. I'm not bothered. Stupid is and stupid does. There, buddy. I'm just gonna chalk it up to me being vampire, and that's why you didn't hear me. That's why your friend ain't saying nothing. He figured I didn't need you to I died as an ass. Nice. My nemesis once again. Stairs. What's this? Okay, game. Never grab your friend, it'll run out fast. There we go. Going first rather than run out. It's just a bite test. I love it. I mean, 3 levels, you're not like that much stronger. You know. Yeah. You know. Actually, I need to slow it down. Slow it down. The Band of the Dragon. Concerning the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, I would advise our members to be very wary about those so-called scholars. Yes, indeed, most of them are always affable and respectable whenever they approach us, but it would be quite unwise for a discreet circle like the Ascalon Club to foolishly speak about our goals, our members, or our traditions. I would also like to remind our fellow members that the Brotherhood itself is ancient enough to have some mysterious traditions. One of them, according to some informants, could be the ritual of the so-called Band of the Dragon. It seems that in certain conditions, when the Brotherhood of St. Paul find a violent or bloodthirsty immortal, they call upon him, this band. What it is exactly, I don't know. Does it really exist? I don't know for sure either. But what I've established as effect is that it is whenever a hostile or vindictive vampire has threatened London, it disappeared without a trace after the Brotherhood pronounced a ban upon him. The loyal Fergal Bansha himself has never been foolish enough to openly provoke the Brotherhood. This is a lesson we must all remember. Never be considered a dragon by the Brotherhood. From the Law of Ascalon by Lord Redgrave. This path right here leads right in there, straight to the result of what we're doing right now. That's not what we want. I wasn't sure if that would lead that way, because you also have this little path over here, which kind of does, but it actually does. This is just a sort of a realization area, and that is the area that tunnel leads to in a second. We'll end up there momentarily. As you can see, it says quite a few things to the brain. We've seen locations like that before. It gives us a sense of things, doesn't it? Yes. Citizen saved. Careful. The endangered citizen may not survive the next night. Go check on him. So, if I were to leave, since and I'm assuming it's because dude told me about him, this is another exit. It's not the same one that we came into. Because dude told me about him, he can die down here if I leave him. I'm not going to. Now, when I say leave him, I mean I'd have to go rest, so the night would have to pass. Yeah, well, we all do there, guy. We all do. Gentlemen? I'll take this. Die. Look at that blood absorption. Yeah, Sersky. You can't breathe. Right. You were in the war. I could acknowledge that. I'm like, you can't breathe? Okay. That's the sound I was talking about.
Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay, I'm Oswald Thatcher. Please, I need to get out.
Mr. Thatcher, your friend Newton sent me to help you. Do you remember him?
Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the cool night air. It's quite invigorating. I'm sure you'll feel better if you do.
Gonna need to make another change to the video title, but that's fine. Citizen rescued. You rescued the citizen. He will return to his district the following night. So for now, regardless of what you do this whole night, he's still down here, but he's safe. So it is what it is. He also has a headache. Which does not surprise me. He's been freaking out, so. Sewer beast.
What sort of creature is this?
first time I've died. Should have been less gentle with you. If you're not strong enough, remember that the blood of citizens will strengthen you, basically. It's not exactly what it said, but that's pretty much what it said. It is what it is. I know what I'm doing. And we get to see our resurrection animation. What's up?
What sort of creature is this?
Wow, they still okay. So he wasn't actually off balance with that. Okay, fine. This is also part of the reason why it was risky to just come down here.
What sort of creature is this?
Here's what's left of him. Not a lot to check, but I should anyway.
That's what's known as a vocod. And this is the guy who didn't know how to read. Yep. Nurse Crane's voucher. If you are sick, if you have no money, whoever you are, wherever you're from, come see Dorothea to get help. No tricks, no charges, no questions asked. Just find Darius Petresco's house and present this coupon. And then, of course, it's got it, I'm assuming, in... I don't know what language that is. French, maybe? Greek? Gratuit, discret. Yeah, I think that is like Greek, or maybe Italian.
Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
Tis hard to say. We'll have to figure that one out though. No. Okay, that was his corpse. I'm like, what? There was a corpse that was glinting when we came in this room, and I could not, for the life of me, figure out which one it was. But like I said, now you see why it is. I wanted to wait to come down here until after I had spoken to a dude about his friend Oswald. Nope, I don't even need to kill him. But I'm gonna. As I slice. Come, Bubba. As I slice, I absorb blood. Remember, that was the upgrade I gave my hacksaw. Every slice absorbs blood, and that did help during that fight. Not a great deal, but it helped. Right. Oh, you're in a mode. So close. I'll show you what claws can do. Took my eyes off my screen for 1 minute. While being murdered. Sewers are already full of these bastards again. Personally, I was fine with it. I wasn't bothered. No. Now they want me to go further into the city to reach Whitechapel. And I will. I will. But not at this moment. And not on this particular episode. That's the old man that she's tending to. That's why you don't see him, since you don't interact with him so far. staff. Yeah, we'll hold off on sepsis. Okay. So it's just Clay Cox and Oswald I can't help because he has a headache. Jesus. One second, folks. Sorry about that.
Hey, Doc.
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay. How could I get better in such a dump?
Consider yourself lucky that I'm treating all of my patients equally. But don't push your luck.
Don't play the innocent with me. I'm sure you have good reasons to act this way. And also weaknesses that can be exploited.
You do like giving me reasons to stop you from breathing, don't you?
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Well, that should be everybody, at least for now. Like I said, his friend will make his way out of the sewers the next night. So we'll go from there in terms of them / him. And since we've done everything we did, dealt with that sewer beast, go ahead and rest up. Level up and call it an episode. It wasn't claws, it was spring. Irritating. But my blood capacity since, you know, stamina, because they kind of hurt during that fight. Bullets and serums. Nah, we're good. But what we will do, coagulation. Vampire will concentrate on the prey's blood, stopping them in their tracks and making them defenseless. It's easy to kill something that can't move. You will block your target's blood in their veins, making them defenseless. It's one of my favorite techniques in this game. Now, biting. More health. No. No. More blood absorption. Enough for another skill. Let's go for spring. Common belief that vampires can disappear into thin air is misleading. Rather, they can greatly increase their speed with blood moving so fast that to the human eyes, it appears as if they appear and reappear at will. Correctly used, this ability can be offensive or defensive depending on the vampire's state of mind. It's too easy to catch up to your prey with spring. It's almost boring when they start running. True that. Perform a supernatural move to your target and cause damage upon landing. I still have points, huh? Okay. Let's heal some more. That bite healing is powerful. Y'all saw how I used it during that fight. If I was able to do more of that during that fight, or if I was able to heal more during that fight, oh yeah, I wouldn't have had to pop my heal as often. But see, now we see the realities of what we do when it comes to the game. Major district events. Every night, the consequences of your actions may improve or degrade the district health status. It's on the left side of the screen. It can also be degraded due to diseases spreading among citizens. Major district events. The more lives you take, the unhealthier a district becomes. If a district's health status drops below the critical threshold, it will plunge into chaos. It is for you to decide of a district's fate. That is wording, boy. Now, not every sickness will progress immediately, and not everybody will get sick immediately afterwards, right? As you can see, Oswald still has his headache, so it's not worse, but everybody else is cured. Now, it's not going to speak about the other districts, see, because I haven't been to the other districts right now, and it's introducing the whole major district event menu. But as we go, they will shift it around, and you will, all 4 districts will change over the course of the whole game each night. So don't assume just one district changed. It's everywhere. And there are a few things you can do with that. So we'll deal with that one next time we come back. Moving on to Whitechapel. We've actually got to do some work for Dr. Why do I forget that man? Strickland. I'm like, why do I forget that man's name? Dr. Strickland. Out in the city. So that should take us around Whitechapel as well. So, yeah. Other than that, sorry, I keep getting these notifications at the worst time. So they're pulling my... Yep, Blackmail in Whitechapel. So yeah, that's Lady Ashbury's mission continuing on in Whitechapel. But of course, we got the investigations we need to conduct, checking in on Thelma's supposed vampire watchers. We dealt with Oswald's issue by rescuing him. Clay Cox still wants his knife. Nurse Brannigan and Dr. Tippett, they've been dealt with in terms of that. Milton has as well, and now it's Mortimer as well as Doctors Aykroyd and Thoreau. Once we deal with those over the course of the game, we'll be in a much better position. And as you see, we're finally at level 9 since we rested from level 5. But folks, this is gonna be the end of episode 4 of Vampyr on the Xbox. Sorry about that, on the PS5. If you folks like what you see and want to see more of me, give me a like, follow, subscribe here on YouTube or both. Drop a comment, check out some of the other playlists, share around some of the other playlists, bang the bell. Follow the links to my Twitch to get to my YouTube. Follow the links to my YouTube to get to my Twitch. And wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And God bless you.